Right, well, welcome to episode three of How Do You Brew. My name's Gideon, I'm from 00DIY, and with me today is the wonderful, the one and only Lee Autumnboy Butler, or just Autumnboy for short. How you doing, Lee?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. How you keeping?
Yeah, good, man. Really excited. Look, let's just cut right to the chase, okay? You like coffee so much that you wrote a song about cold coffee.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And it's called Cold Brew, and I think that's one of the songs you're going to do for us at the end, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I've been singing it for ages, man. It's just that, it's just that chorus bit going round. It's great.
Thank you.
So is cold brew like your kind of go-to, or like what do you for kind of average everyday coffee stuff? I'm talking beans, method. Go for it. Tell me all about it.
Well, so I do love cold brew. I love it a lot. But when I first started getting into it, and especially when I wrote the song, it wasn't accessible in the UK as much, because I had it mostly when I went over to the States, and I didn't know how to make it either. And so it would be one of those things where when I could get a hold of it, I would have it. And eventually Starbucks and Costa over here started doing it because it started kind of blowing up a bit. But yeah, I'll have cold brew if I can get a hold of it. But as a general rule, with my coffee or whatever, I have a filter machine downstairs in my kitchen. I get whatever beans.
Like electric machine, heats the water and you
just
press
like a filter coffee
machine.
Yeah, that sort of thing. To be honest, if full disclosure, I am a barista in some of my other time when we're not in a pandemic. That's part of my job when I'm not being rock star famous. I'm just kidding, I'm not rockstar famous, but
not yet.
When it comes to coffee, what I drink normally is I'll have filter coffee, failing that instant, even though it's trash. But it's I have two modes, because growing up I had a real big sweet tooth, so when I started drinking coffee originally, I would just fill it with sugar and milk, and not really want to be into the taste. But eventually I started getting into black coffee, and I find that I don't really have much of an in-between. It's either I want it really sweet and with milk and stuff, preferably oat milk. It's just the superior beverage, not gonna lie.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's either that or it's completely black. I remember I was at work and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna have black coffee with a bit of sugar in it, and I was like, this is trash, and just poured it down the sink.
Yeah.
But yeah, so normally at home I'll drink filter coffee black, and if I have instant, I'll have it with milk and sugar. But to be honest, instant black is awful, absolutely awful. So yeah, I wouldn't want to touch that.
Someone gave me some instant not that long ago, and it was just so vile. I was trying not to be a dick about it, and I was grateful, but it just is so bitter. And I think because I've got into filter, and I do pour over and I grind beans and all of that stuff. I think the flavors are just so good, and instant coffee, it's just it kind of tastes. If that's all you drink, then that's what you think coffee tastes like, and it just doesn't. It's just not. So I can't even go near instant anymore. It's just too much.
Understandable. I don't really tend to, but it's if it's the only thing that's there, then I'll drink it. But did you know that there's actually, I saw it come up at some point late last year, I saw that there are some companies, or at least a company, that makes artisan instant coffee. So trying to make instant coffee that's genuinely actually really good, that they put a decent amount of effort into making it taste good and making it, I guess it's almost like mixing instant with third wave, which doesn't seem like it could be a thing, but I'm really into it. I love that idea and I would definitely try it. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't suck. But yeah. But yeah, and one thing that I was going to mention is when I can, I make cold brew at home, but it's this kind of weird botch job method that I was taught by some of my friends in New Jersey of literally just take beans and put it in a thing of water and leave it overnight. That's you take out a load of the steps of how you actually make cold brew. But I've done it with beans that I've bought before, and it actually turned out okay.
Why don't you go through the I mean, we talked about doing an actual video of you of us talking about you making cold brew and you actually like doing it. So, but go on, tell us like, go on, like indulge me because I don't drink cold brew coffee. I've had it from probably Starbucks or wherever, and like to be honest, when I've had it, I've just been like, it's so weird because it's so bitter, and like I can
it's
do
probably
like
the beans from Starbucks, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
But
lie.
go on, indulge me, talk about it, you know, and maybe your New Jersey friends can like put in the comments like, you know, if you're doing it wrong or I don't know.
It's well easy, to be honest. Like it's one of those things that like I was taught by, so my friend Anthony makes music under Hands X Feet. He did tell me how to do cold brew properly, and to be honest, for the modern barista, this is absolute sacrilege. But it's like I would just fill up a jug of water, and then I would pour in a certain amount of coffee beans. I can't remember how much it was. There were certain measurements, and I did take notes of it, but I can't remember for the life of me what they are. Like, cause I haven't done it in a minute because it's winter. But yeah, and then you leave it in your fridge overnight. And then I would just strain it out, and then it's good to drink. Like it's really nice, and you can like pour it over ice and stuff, and you can add milk if you want to as well. It's like genuinely like quite. Like, it's quite lovely, but I can imagine it would be even better if I did it properly, where I actually ground up the beans and put it through a cheesecloth and things like that. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. No, cool, man. So, and when you said you were a barista, is that for like a chain coffee shop that we shouldn't talk about, or is it for an indie, or what?
Basically, I work for a chain. It's like barista is not the only thing that I do. It's like I basically work a food service job, but it's like so I work for a company called Loungers. So if you've ever been to there'll be like maybe something in your town that's something O Lounge, or either failing that, there'll probably be a cozy club somewhere. There are tons of them all over the country, but the coffee that they do is actually pretty good. And so I am a waiter, a barman, barista. So like, you know, we do food, and pretty good food at that. And then like, you know, it doubles up as a pub, but it also doubles up as a coffee shop. And so like, I would much prefer to do none of the other parts of the job and just be a barista, but like, you know, whatever, you take what you can get, I guess. And the town I live in is fairly small. I don't have many options. But yeah, no, it's it's pretty good. And like I said, the coffee that we get in is fairly good. It's Clifton Coffee Roasters from Bristol, and yeah, they're good. Like I genuinely think they're good. I did my coffee training with them. I went over to went over to their headquarters and did like a proper course and everything like that. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always fancied like coffee shop work. I just think it looks, I mean, maybe I'm just sort of like I don't know, made it idolatry. There we go. I just think like it would be cool to just like just go to work and then do your job and come home. Like that's something I don't currently have, which is, you know, whatever, but it's just can be hard sometimes. But B, like you just go in there and just make coffee and see loads of people and just say hey and like have a chat and make nice coffee for people. I can see that. I think that would be cool. I've always fancied like working even in like a Costa or something. I've always thought that would be a cool job. Anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Like, to be honest, I've never worked in just a coffee shop before, and that is something that I would love to do. I guess like with any of these things, when it gets busy, it gets stressful and like, you know, anxious and but like overall, like it's very aesthetically pleasing and like super fun. And I don't know, I'm like low key passionate about being able to make good coffee, even though I'm not that great at it. But yeah, practice
makes perfect. All right, well let's that's, you know, that's the coffee portion of the interview. Thanks so much for coming. No, I'm joking. Right, so I had like a bunch of questions, and I try and ask everyone the same thing for consistency. So let's go. My first question is a record that changed your life, and you might have a few. Like Trev the other day had like 4 records, which was fine. You might just be able to narrow it down to one. If you, I mean, what are your records?
I would say, so I definitely do have a few. I kind of wish that I had them to hand, but I don't. Like there are some over there, but the main one's like downstairs. But the main one for me is Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. Like, I mean, it's just like a big cliche for a lot of people, but like I love that record. It got me into heavy music, and it's funny, I was like either 10 or 11 years old. It was not long, maybe a couple of days before I went on this school trip over to, I didn't even know where, but it was like a weekend school trip or whatever. And I remember I was watching Dragon Ball Z AMVs on YouTube on the family computer, and I found this one of In the End by Linkin Park off of that record, and I was like, yo, what is this? Because like, I don't know, like it introduced me to heavy music, yes, but also to music that is so incredibly viscerally expressive. Like, just really, this is what is on my heart, and I need to express it like in a way that is just like big and violent and heavy, and like, I don't know, I love that, and I think I needed that at that age as well. Like I was a boy with a lot of feelings. I still am, like, that's not changed. If not, I've got more. But yeah, and not only that, but like, I also love the fact that with Hybrid Theory and Meteora as well, the record after that, like a lot of their stuff, but mainly those two records, and Reanimation. Oh my gosh. Anyway, like it's a really cohesive mix of styles that blends in a way that it just becomes its own thing, and like it doesn't feel like the mix is forced, and I really love that, and I try and do that with my own music as well when I can. It's something that really inspires me, and I actually found retrospectively, looking back at a lot of records, that it's the stuff that was really different was the stuff that stuck out to me, and the stuff that I really liked. Stuff that might fit into other like genres and stuff like that, and there may be some bands that sound similar, but like it would always be, I would listen to that record and then I'd be like, I wish that I could listen to other stuff like this. I wish that there was more of it. But even bands that sat in the same genre, I would listen to it, and there would be this kind of void of like, this just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't have that same flair. That was basically Hybrid Theory was that for me. And there's like other albums like Doppelganger by The Fall of Troy. I absolutely love that record. And like, it might seem like a weird scene kid answer, but I was a weird scene kid, so I don't care. But like, I like You Can't Spell Slaughter Without Laughter by I Set My Friends on Fire. That record, oh my, I've got a signed copy of it somewhere over there on my on top of my chest of drawers, and it's absolutely brilliant. Crazy cohesive mix of styles, and like just really heavy all over the place, sometimes really emotional, sometimes really wild, and it's like, what do these lyrics even mean? But yeah, I absolutely love that record as well. But so like, I would say that those things kind of like changed my perception on how I view music, how I view it as a tool for expression, and how I view maybe even writing music and wanting to mix things together and going, how can I make something like, you know, like that, but with this or whatever, you know?
Yeah. It's funny what you were saying about Hybrid Theory, because I too I was really into Hybrid Theory, and I probably more than Meteora, or definitely not like Reanimation or Minutes to Midnight, but like and I also discovered Linkin Park through basically finding Naruto AMVs on YouTube, and like there's like one, it's like Rock Lee versus Naruto in some kind of, I'm pretending like I don't know. I do know. Me and Anna watched Naruto really recently, like just for nostalgia's sake. We got really far actually. Yeah. So like when he's like, I don't know how well you know the story, but he's like fighting Gaara like in the some exam that they had to do.
I love that fight.
And it was all like, you know, in the end in the background. And I think that was my introduction to Linkin Park, and it's just it's funny. Like I resonate a lot with what you said about the connection, and like also if you listen to like, I don't know, like Korn or Limp Bizkit, or I'm trying to think of another band that's relevant. anyway, other bands of that time, like, yeah, they definitely didn't have that kind of creative thing. I mean, you know, it's still cool music. I still liked Korn, and I still liked Limp Bizkit, but I think yeah, you're right. There's just something a bit more to Linkin Park, which is probably why they have managed to exist for a bit longer than those. I mean, I know Korn is still around, but do you know what I mean? Like,
well,
I just think, yeah, it's just like a different thing.
They definitely did have something different to them. I completely agree. It's a weird one because I think that Korn and Limp Bizkit definitely had a different something to them as well, but it wasn't what Linkin Park were doing. No. It was like this. It was a similar thing of like, say if I listened to a Korn record and like I went to go to listen to a Linkin Park record afterwards, I'd probably be like, this isn't what I'm looking for. But like it would be the same thing, vice versa. Like, fun fact, I actually saw Korn and Limp Bizkit play live. It was with Madball as well. It was like this arena show. I got to watch it side stage. It was really wild.
Yeah, because of Brian Head and the Rev Reality guys, right? So
yes, it was. Yeah. Like, okay, no, you know thing. About that.
Yeah, I remember. I remember you posting on Facebook. Like, so viewers at home, Lee and I have never met, but we have been friends on Facebook for what, like 7 years or something.
It's been a minute.
It's been a long time, and yeah, like I've just sort of followed kind of what Lee's been up to, but yeah, because Brian's like a Christian and has got like a ministry and or like was or had, or you know, however that works these days, and yeah, and like you kind of got to go and meet him and be part of that, didn't you?
It was really wild. Like, Brian's friends with a couple of people that I'm friends with. Like, it's one of those things where I don't know him personally, but like, you know, it's like, yeah, he's friends with my friends John and Whiskey, and like John was on tour with him at the time, and so he was just like, yo, do you want to come out and hang out and like do ministry stuff? And so I got into the show for free. I ended up hanging out in Korn's green room, and I managed to get my friend Realmskip, who produces my stuff, in there as well, which was really cool. It was a really surreal experience, super fun, like just being able to kind of like interact with and hang out with these bands that were really big when I was growing up.
Yeah,
like, because I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't listen to Korn all that much when I was young. I heard them and I was like, I think this is cool, but like it wasn't something that was like really massive in my head, not like Linkin Park was, but like it was really crazy, really cool, and interesting to also even just as a Christian artist to observe what Head was doing and how he was interacting with his fans and like being able to share the gospel with them. Like, I thought that was really cool, and you know, there's a lot that I was able to learn from that too.
Yeah, oh, cool, man. I'm gonna cut all of that out. So sort of segueing then on to a gig that changed your life. Like, it could be one that you played, or it could be one that you just watched. It could be that one that you were just talking about. Like, but have you got like one that's like you think you remember being there and you're just like, yeah, that was sick and whatever?
I've got I've definitely got one that was like one that I was in attendance of, and then I've got one that was one that I played. The one that I was in attendance of was the first show I ever went to, because like, I mean, obviously that like introduced me to live music. And I just think it was a really cool and interesting lineup. Like, it was so it was Kerrang Tour 2009. I was 14 years old.
XD Raw.
Yeah. It means I love you in Dinosaur. But like, yeah, no, it was a really sick lineup. From openers to headliners. It was In Case of Fire, Black Tide, Bring Me the Horizon, Duran Gray, and then Mindless Self-Indulgence. And it was, yeah, just like, I don't know, like really interesting. It was at the O2 Academy in Bristol, what was at the time called the Carling Academy, because it was a long time ago. Like, dang, okay.
yeah.
But yeah,
before
it was
O2 was a thing.
yeah, literally like wild. But
yeah,
it was cool because it was like Suicide Season era, Bring Me the Horizon.
That's
And
the
it
one
was
where
back
he's like
when-
got the guts. He's holding the guts in
yeah,
his
like
hand, isn't it? Yeah.
they had like a big thing of them behind them, like the big like backdrop of the album cover. And I think that it was during Cut Up, so it was when the guts were all green and stuff, because I have that on CD somewhere, and they would have like dubstep interludes or something like that between their songs. I think it was at that point. But yeah, it was super, super cool. Like I really, really loved that show. And like, to be honest, I wasn't even that into Bring Me the Horizon at the time. My friend Tom was, and he wanted me to go with him. So yeah, me, him, and our other friend Ross ended up going. It was super fun, and like we were just watching over the balcony. Like we didn't want to get in the pit because it was too scary. Because I'm 14. Like, but yeah. So there was that, and then in terms of shows that I played, like I used to be in like a crappy deathcore band when I was like 17. And like I mean, nothing against it. It was super fun. We played like more shows than I can count.
Did you do the crab thing?
Oh yeah, so much. Dude, it was straight up crabcore, and we used to cover Attack Attack. So
okay. Sickly.
Oh mate, no, actually I covered that in another band I was in when I was the vocalist. But anyway.
Did you do the things where you like throw the guitar like over your shoulder?
Yes. Like,
yeah.
Like but yeah, like in fact, like if you can find the video of this show that I'm about to talk about, you'll see me like throw my guitar up, like but like not very well. I get it to about here and then throw it back down.
I was worried you're just gonna smack your like, especially like a big heavy guitar, like a bass or like an 8-string or something. You just like smash yourself in the mouth.
Yeah, just instant broken nose. Show's over. Let's go home.
Hardcore for life. Bloodstream down.
I love that so much. But this show basically, yeah, so we played this Battle of the Bands thing, like, and we ended up getting to the finals, and the finals was at the Proud 2 in the O2 Arena in London. So it was like one of the smaller venues within the biggest arena in the country.
Was that in the actual O2? Yeah, because you would trying to piece together when that would have been open. But yeah, so 2012 that would have been. Yeah.
It was pretty wild. Like
yeah.
So it was like. It's this weird sort of thing where I can say, yeah, I played in the biggest arena in the country, but it wasn't main stage. Like, but like it was still really cool, and it was probably the most amount of people that I've ever played in front of. And yeah, like, yeah, I was 17 years old wearing this like drop dead vest with a big afro, like, and all my friends had got a coach up to come and watch us play. We didn't win, but like,
cares,
like that's because we were a crappy deathcore band. But it was a lot of fun, and it was one of those things that, like, I was 17 years old and I got to play in the O2 Arena in London, sort of thing, like, despite all of the complications. It's like, well, that's a really big achievement for a 17-year-old, and like, I think I'm always going to appreciate that, and that if you can, like, I don't know, it's like I'm able to make these achievements happen sometimes, and like, and I'm really happy that I've been able to do things like that, and so that's had like a I guess like a stark impact on like, like, yeah, I did that thing. Yeah, I've like played the shows all over the country and done this and that and whatever when I was a kid, and so I can do it again, like, but now I'm crying over trap beats.
Yeah. Cool, man. That's really cool. So, and then on the flip side, have you got like a worst gig that you either played or went to, or both maybe?
Like, to be honest, most gigs that I've gone to, that I've chosen to go to, are ones that I've genuinely really wanted to go to. So I can't think of much off the top of my head that has been bad. But like, when you're in a crappy deathcore band, you'll take what you can get.
Yeah.
But that being said, this show wasn't necessarily bad, but one of the things happened in it. One of the things that happened in it was very odd and uncomfortable. So I would say, yeah, it's an interesting one. I actually I don't know if you use TikTok, but I started making TikToks. It's been a lot of fun. But I made a TikTok about this, and it got a fair few likes.
Right.
Thought it was quite funny. But basically, it was a show when I was on tour in this band. I was 18 at the time. And so, yeah, like, we had managed to just get this show. It was at the basement room of the Exchange in Bristol, and it was like, I don't even know who was headlining. I can't remember. Like, but we were on tour and we were playing like second. And the opening band was this very odd industrial band. Like, I mean, industrial music's cool, like whatever. Like, I think that it can be really sick, and like whatever it's. I'm not ragging on industrial music, but
I love Nine Inch Nails, man.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I barely even listened to Nine Inch Nails. Like, but like, I can't deny that they're probably cool. They wrote "Hurt," right, and you know that song's cool. Like, but yeah. So like, this band is like being weird, and they got like a synth player and stuff, and like, you know,
Synths
and
are so strange.
Oh, I love synths, man. But like, it's just like, I guess it depends on the use of them or whatever. But yeah, it was like, you know, the bass player was the vocalist, I think, if I remember correctly.
Right.
And he was like up front. And he, like, in between songs was like, we like seeing nudity in this band. We want to see some nudity. So they wanted people to start taking their clothes off. Keep in mind that this is a show in the basement of a venue. So it's not the main stage of the venue.
No.
They're playing to probably like 20 or 30 people tops. It's not that like, and they're the opener as well. Like, it's not like they're the headliner and then everyone's like, "We love you," and then they take their tops off. Like, and so evidently, lo and behold, no one does it. And like,
Smart.
you know, as you'd expect.
I think that's good.
Yeah, which I was fairly happy about until he dropped his trousers. Like, your face, G. Nah, for real though. Like, so he's like, "Yeah, fine, I'll do it." And then he just drops his trousers and his underwear, just revealing his junk. And I'm like, "Nope." And just like, he went straight out of the venue. Because I'm like, what? There's a girl who stood at the door, and I turned to her. I'd never spoken to her before. And I'm just kind of like, "Dude just got his junk out." She's like, "What?" And I'm like, "This dude just got his junk out."
It's not okay. That's so not okay. And the people are like, "Oh, why is there like problems in the scene?" That's why. Because of stuff like that.
Is somehow a man managed to sexually harass 30 people single-handedly in one moment. Like, just really, really, like, I don't know, man. Like, if you're like Blink 182 and you're kind of like playing this big arena, and then you're like, "Hey, is this okay?" And everyone's like, "Ah," or whatever, then okay, cool, whatever. Like, but no one asked. It's like, no one asked. You didn't ask permission. So that was a really uncomfortable experience, and I had to get on stage after that. So I'm like stepping on it like, ugh.
Wow, that's awful.
Yeah.
That's properly awful. That's not just like bad. That's not just like a bad experience. That's like a really bad. Wow. All right, let's moving on then. So you're Autumnboy.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a bit about like where that name came from? What it means,
Yes.
Maybe a bit of your journey as to like how you've got here, and then some of the cool stuff that you've been doing, because your boy's got some music on wax, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, I do have. I've got some on wax and some on the way, but I'll get to that in a minute. But
right.
yeah, no. So I guess the name, like, as with like a few things that I come up with, like, I kind of come up with things on the spot and I'm like, that sounds cool, and then I attribute meaning to it later. And like, I don't think that like I'm particularly bad at doing that. Like, there are certain things where I've come up with a lyric and then I've kind of looked at it and been like, no, that makes complete sense. Like, I didn't think it at the time, but it does. And it was a similar thing with the phrase Autumnboy, because basically I found this, like, it was 2016 in the summer. I found all of this SoundCloud rap stuff, or like emo rap or whatever. Like, I found Nothing Nowhere, and I was like, yo, okay, I want to do something like that. I think I can do that. Like, I can write emo guitar, because I've been doing it with like other stuff for ages.
It's really easy as well. It's just open tunes and just like down, down, down. Yeah,
literally. Like, to be fair, actually, I think that originally I wrote Cold Brew in an open tuning, but I don't even do it like that anymore. But like, yeah, but yeah, like even like the most of the song is not even like in an open tuning. I ended up writing the rest of it in a standard one, and when I wrote the original riff. But anyway, like, I came up with the name just because I was like, I started writing songs, started coming up with beats, like on Logic, and I wanted to put something out there. And it was like, well, to have SoundCloud, you need a name. And so I was just kind of sat there on my bed with my laptop in front of me with SoundCloud open, just like, and autumn's my favorite season. I think it's gorgeous. Like, I just think that it is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, for
It's
real,
the best.
like,
It's the best. October to November, perfect.
yeah, definitely. Like, I think it's a bit nicer in America, honestly, just because like you get all of the autumn leaves and stuff like that, but it's not as cold because it's like super cold over here.
Or wet. Is it drier normally as well?
I would say so, yeah. Like, it's our weather here is trash, but it's whatever.
Trash weather.
Trash weather. That sounds like a band.
That's your next album, I think.
That's it. Straight up.
Trash weather.
Yeah, 2022 trash weather. Let's go. But yeah, no, like so I ended up coming up with that, just thinking off the top of my head, and it was like one of these things where like originally it was like Autumnboy, and then it was like this cross and then a squiggle, like, because you could get those as characters and find them, and like, but eventually after a while I ended up getting rid of the rest of it and just keeping it as it was, as just Autumnboy. But yeah, and as time went on, basically I found that there was significance in autumn. Like, I'm an ever changing, ever growing individual, like constantly trying to like better myself in whatever ways, and that might be like a slow process where I'm not even paying attention to it, or like, you know, or a fast process where I've realized things and I want to get them changed quick. But it's like this constant state of dying and then like growing again, letting parts of yourself die that, like, you know, it could hurt, but it's like really important. And like, and then, you know, it's that, and autumn is that like precursor to the growth, and like letting those parts of yourself die off, right? That like, and it's I don't know, it's like, there's such a beauty in it because it looks beautiful, and like, but it's also death at the same time, you know? Like, I think that it's really cool. Like, I think the autumn's really cool, and as a season you can get so much like metaphorical value out of it. I really like it, and it was one of those things where I kind of started, and then I ended up being like, I stuck with it and was like, oh, okay, sure. Like, and I don't know, I've wanted to change my name at certain points. Like, I thought about it recently, thought about just kind of like, you know, shelving it and starting a new project, but like it just never happened. Like, because like, I mean, obviously the phrase Autumnboy, it's like, it has a certain connotation in terms of branding and things like that, and I wanted something that was a little bit more open, but this works. Like, I don't know, it works. And yeah, but in terms of everything else, it's like from there I ended up just putting a load of stuff up on SoundCloud and just kept writing, and eventually I think I was on holiday at the time over in the Canary Islands, and I thought to myself like, yo, I want to make an album. Like, and so I took this some of the songs that I had written demos for and released on SoundCloud, and then I'm just trying to think, there was another one that I wrote but I hadn't released on SoundCloud, and then there was one that I wrote in the studio, but I took all of that and I went to my friend Realmskip, and we ended up just kind of like throwing it together, and that's what became Ghost of a Broken Record.
Right.
And from there I just kind of started playing shows, and it was a weird one as well, because like I wasn't expecting to start playing shows with this project. It was just kind of a weird thing that I started doing because I felt like doing it. It wasn't like this thing that was like, oh, this is so serious, and I'm like, you know, it just wasn't. But then as I kept doing it, it was like, oh, okay, right, this seems like it should probably be a thing that I should keep on doing, because, you know, it was the best iteration of my songwriting yet. And it just made sense because I had released like other stuff before that. Like, I'd released albums on Bandcamp. Your Canvas, yeah, that is
which I think was probably my introduction to you. I think you posted like Your Canvas in like UK emo or something, and I was like, this is cool. Like,
defo
Facebook groups, man, just bringing people together.
Is that how we met? I can't remember.
Yeah, totally. You did this post. You're like, there's some songs I wrote about stuff and Jesus, and I was like, oh, gonna add Lee.
Hello.
So, yeah, that's cool, man. Do you think like I was thinking like, because you like played in bands and stuff, as you said, do you think that being a solo artist kind of gives you like a bit more flexibility to kind of go at your own pace and do what you want, and you're not, I think from when I've played in a band, like you're constantly like, you might all be on the same page, or you might all be slightly in different places, and like you can kind of hold each other back, or you know, like do you feel like kind of where you are is like has helped you just because you just decided to go alone, or you know, am I projecting?
No, you're 100% correct. I think that as time goes on, being adults, it's much easier to be solo artists. When I was a kid, it was easy to be in a band because it was like, we do band practice this day and whatever, and we're in school or we're in college, so it doesn't matter. Like, it's not like we are taken up by loads of prior commitments. I'm 26 years old now, like, and that's just not the way that the world works.
Very old.
Yeah, I'm decrepit. Like, so like, I really would love to be in a band again. I want to be in a band again. I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, man, I just want to start a hardcore band and just like go ham. But like,
Trash
weather. That's the one. That's it. Trash Weather 2022. Like, but now it's a band. It's not an album anymore. Let's go. But I think that starting a band is really hard, especially as I have grown and my my views on a lot of different things, and my skills have just like grown into different things. It's like, cool, if I want to do like a cohesive musical project, then it needs to be something that like, I need to make sure that I'm writing about the things that I want to write about. Like, you know, I want to make sure that if anyone else is writing in this project, then it needs to kind of coincide. Like, we need to have views that coincide in some way, shape, or form. And I want to make sure that their songwriting is good. And because it sounds really harsh, right? But like, I don't want to be in a band with someone that sucks at songwriting, and like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not the best in the world. Like, I'm not freaking, I don't know, I'm not any of those guys from like Motown or whatever, you know, making like the biggest hits in the world. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But like, but I am incredibly passionate about songwriting, and I've been doing it for 13 years. So like, I want to be able to have a skill set with every person in a group that fits together well. And so then it's like views that work together, skill sets that work together, and then schedules that work together.
Yeah, that's the hardest bit, I think, surely.
Yeah, like that's it. It's really difficult. Like, and if I can, I will like be in a band again in the future. But yeah, it's definitely hard. But I think for this, it's like being Autumnboy has been really nice because I've been able to take it at my own pace. When I've wanted to stop and take a break, I've been able to stop and take a break. And if I want to have a band, like I did play a show actually with a drummer at one point, but it's only happened once because like COVID.
Yeah.
But like I was going to start doing shows with a drummer, and that was just going to be that. But then like things happened. No, it wasn't with Pete. It was my friend Lewis. Okay. But I big up Pete though. I love Pete.
I was going to play in a band with Pete, and then COVID, so you know.
Yeah, literally, and now he's moved, hasn't he?
And now he's moved again. Yeah. Life happens.
Yeah, literally. But yeah. So with all of that, like being a solo artist is much easier, and you can also build up a band as you go. Like, because I would love to have Autumnboy as a full band thing, but I also like it makes it a little bit easier. Like, and it's like, maybe it's like an ego thing, and I don't know, it shouldn't be maybe, but like, I mean, this project is like important to me. It's my baby, you know, like I care a lot about it, and the way that I present myself with it. And so like I like the fact that I have full control over the things that I do. Even when I work with Realm Skip, it's like I'll have the final say in what happens, even though he like is able to bring his amazing skills to the table. Like, and he has some very different views to me on certain things. Like, I mean, like, you know, he's got a lot of different like Buddhist views on things. I'm a Christian and stuff, but like he just supplements what I need in those moments. And I think it would be the same thing with a band sort of situation. My nose is itching so much, it won't stop. I keep touching my nose. It looks like I'm picking my nose.
Stop picking your nose, Lee. Just stop doing it. I wanted to just touch on because you are signed to Beth Shalom Records.
I am, yeah.
And I mean, to me that was really cool because I've been following them a little bit, and I've got Marcus from the Yacht Club on next week, and they've been on Beth Shalom for a few years. So
yeah,
very cool to me. Anyway, do you want to talk about just a little bit? I'm going to wrap it up in a bit, but just talk very briefly a bit about how that came about and what that means for you going forward, and what it's like being on a label. So loads and loads of questions. Just yeah.
No worries. Like, I love the questions. I love rambling. So yeah, sorry if I've rambled too much. I'm really bad for that. But yeah, Beth Shalom, super cool. I'm friends with a guy called Adam, and he plays in a band called American Sign Language, who are sick, and you should listen to them. And that goes out to the viewer as well. Listen to American Sign Language because they are really
American
good.
Sign Language. Just
hell yeah.
Just for
we love it. But basically he like he's friends with Joe from Beth Shalom, because American Sign Language are on Beth Shalom. Not only that, but Joe also now plays guitar in American Sign Language. So like, it was actually Pete that introduced me to American Sign Language as well, which is really funny. But like, I ended up going out to one of their shows and getting to know them a little bit. Yeah, Joe just kind of hit me up out of the blue at one point, and was like, yo, your stuff is really cool. Like, maybe we should work together.
Yeah, nice. Get signed.
Yeah, and so like, I thought that was pretty cool, because I actually had listened to one of his one of the bands that had been on his label before. Like, I listened to Drawstring, and I thought Drawstring were really good.
Oh man, I loved Drawstring. I might try and get them on the pod, actually. I'll see how that goes. Anyway.
Yeah, man. I think they play in a band called Penthouse now. But anyway, let's
anyway, but sick.
Don't want to keep going off on different tangents. I know. So bad for it.
I've got a Drawstring t-shirt, just saying. Anyway, carry on.
Yo, love that. But so I knew who Beth Shalom Records were. I definitely heard of them, and so it was really cool, because like, me and him just got on a call and started chatting and stuff, and it was really nice to see that there was someone within the industry that was also a man of the faith that understood what I was doing, because I think that's one of the biggest things for me, is like, people can see and appreciate what I'm doing, but like, if they aren't in the faith, then I guess there's a certain point where the understanding stops, because it's like, because I believe that Jesus is real, and like, I believe that God is real and active and stuff like that, and obviously that affects my music. And so a lot of people are like, oh wow, his emotions are really cool and I really like the music and stuff like that, but then it's like, when it gets to that point, they're like, I don't really get this, or don't agree with it, which is totally fine. I don't mind. But like, when I have someone that understands that facet of it, that like is really sick, and someone that wants to work with me on that level, it's really cool as well. So like, but then what that means for this project is, it's not only someone that can hold me accountable for just like actually making sure I get things done, but it's like just taking things to the next level of like, I'm a DIY artist, I'm like doing things kind of like, DIY. I'm making songs in my bedroom and then like sending them over to my friend's bedroom, and just making videos as I go with friends that I have access to, and playing whatever shows and tours I can get a hold of. And so like, being able to have Joe as a label head for me, and then a manager, it means that I've got more access to things like PR, marketing, and like actually booking shows and stuff like that, like because we were starting to organize tours, but COVID. I think we were going to try and do a tour with American Sign Language, and it just like obviously fell through because like it was.
What can you do?
Yeah, it was like a couple of months away or something like that. It was going to be in like September, and then it was like boom, it hit, and we were like, we'll try and push it back, and then it's 2021, and it's like, oh, you know. But yeah, so basically that's what the label's doing for me, is taking what I'm doing and taking my vision and then being able to push it a bit further than I may be able to do it myself.
Yeah.
Like having certain contacts and skills and things like that. Not only that, but it also looks really cool when I say, I'm signed to a label actually. Like
yeah. That's cool.
It means that I'm a real musician or something like that, even though I still live with my mum, whatever.
Gotta make sacrifices.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Mate, thank you so much for just chatting. Just quickly tell me where we can find your music, and can we follow you on social media? Yes.
Okay, so social media, it's Autumnboy with an X on the end of it for like every social platform.
Is it a kiss?
Yes. Yeah, don't. Sorry. Yeah, no. So it's Autumnboy with an X on the end. And on all socials, apart from TikTok, that's just Autumnboy because it was one of the only ones where it hadn't been taken.
Sure.
I was like, yo. And I'm on Spotify, Bandcamp, Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube. Just make sure that when you search for Autumnboy, there's no space between autumn and boy, because recently some American guy started another project called Autumnboy, and it has a space between the two words, and so it gets a little bit confusing. Yeah. But that's not me. His stuff is really cool though, and he's managed to completely blow my stream count out of the water. He's got like over 100,000 streams on one of his songs, and it's good. Definitely give it a listen. But that's not me.
Okay. Cool. So it's Autumnboy Kiss. If you're looking for it on socials. All right. Well, Autumnboy Kiss. You're gonna play some songs for us now, and thank you so much for being here and doing this. Yeah, just really cool to like chat and just hear about what you've been up to and hear your journey. So thank you, man.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Cool. All right, well, we're gonna head straight over to Autumnboy.
The negative prohibition that Jesus gave more often than any other was not don't steal, don't kill, don't commit adultery. But the negative prohibition he gave more frequently than any other was fear not. Don't be afraid.
Hey, what's up? I'm Autumnboy. This song is called Nothing Hurts When I'm Asleep. Nothing hurts when I'm asleep. My waking thoughts take hold of me. Nothing hurts when I'm asleep. My waking thoughts take hold. So I'll keep on walking, internally screaming again, 'cause I wanna get better. But my brain doesn't seem to man. Things I want, I just push away, and I'm feeling less real each and every day. I just every now and then, every now and then, every now and then.
Nothing hurts when I'm asleep. My waking thoughts take hold of me. Nothing hurts when I'm asleep. My waking thoughts take hold. I woke up depressed again. Life is a nightmare I wish would end. Thank you very much. This next song is called Cold Brew. I've been drinking cold brew and walking so much that I've got holes in my shoes. Sometimes I get lost, you know that I do. Show me what really matters.
The summer is gone. Sometimes I get so cold. The summer is gone. My way of life has become so old.
Maybe I should drink something warm. Maybe I should drink something warm. Well, I started drinking coffee at 15, and back then, drinks meant taste, not temperature, vibes, not consistency, and convenience, not necessity. But we're not talking about coffee anymore, are we? Did I start drinking it because I liked the taste or because it sounded cool in a song that I heard? Oh man, how I wanted to be cool, like all of the guys in the songs that I heard. I'd be lying if I said that boy still doesn't live inside, but what resides is less of a dark side, for with loveless cries I am changing. The leaves are crinkling and falling off the trees, the colors change, I am changing. I can feel a breeze, and with a shiver I whisper, I am in love. I am in love with changing. I am in love with the idea of growth, but an idea never pulled me out of bed by my ankles and put my hands together. Oh no, I need to go. Farther than ever before. Ignore the doubt, smash down the doors and shout that I am a new man. And I heat my drinks, cause it's not summer anymore. And I think that otherwise I might catch a cold. I've been drinking cold brew and walking so much that I've got holes in my shoes. Sometimes I get lost, you know that I do. Show me what really matters. me.